In this video I'll show you the top reasons why your tire label is completely useless and what you actually need to do to find the right tire for your car. Los geht's! And we're looking for winter tires instead of these Pirelli summer tires. And then these tire labels, yeah, they're really supposed to help you. Because they have all these nice indicators for fuel consumption, noise, how it performs on the wet. And then you can see some other useful information whether it's suitable for the winter. But actually it tells you nothing specific about a lot of other parameters. Let me show you. So reason number one why these EU tire labels are completely pointless is because if you look at the wet here, it assumes that it performs well in rain. But you don't know whether it performs well actually in the snow or on ice. That's nowhere written. And yeah, honestly speaking, in terms of rain performance, if you've ever looked at one of these tire review videos or tire tests, you have straight aquaplaning, you have hydroplaning, sideways aquaplaning, hydroplaning. There's so many different factors, and depending on the type of car, the weight of the car, the tire, the wheel size, the specific weather for where you're from, and you really cannot get this information from a tire label. So if you focus just on this wet here and you're looking for an A score, you're probably setting yourself up for a dangerous situation when you go to wintry roads and you have slush on the road and maybe there's a lot of strong rain coming and there's potential aquaplaning. You really need to be more informed than what it just says on the label. So that's reason number one. And it has these beautiful indicators here that it's suitable for the winter and potentially on ice also. But the EU tire label does not take into account at all which region you're from. Hey, if you're from Western Europe like me, I live in the Netherlands, you have much milder winters here. While, for example, if you're from Scandinavia, they are much more rougher there. Maybe you're from the Midwest in the US. It's a completely different situation than in other parts of the country. So it says suitable for winter, but is it really suitable for the winter where you're from? That's the main question. And a tire label cannot address that. So that's reason number two. And the third reason is that the tire label has a very limited scope of testing. It's all like lab generated tests, but it does not take into account, like I said, the region you're from, but also the type of road. Do you have highway roads or do you have countryside roads? It doesn't look at braking on the wet, braking on the snow, braking in the rain, braking in the slush. None of that is taken into account. And another thing it doesn't do is it doesn't look at tests for the specific tire that you're looking at. Are you looking for an all-season tire? Are you looking for a winter tire? Are you looking for a studded tire? None of that. It's just a very generic indicator that says this tire performs well on the wet. Yeah, but what type of wet? We have a million types of wet here in Europe and the US. So that's very important, and that's the third reason why I believe these tire labels are completely useless. Yeah, and reason number four is a really big one, and that's especially relevant for me now because I have an electric car, Tesla. You think like, I want the least rolling resistance and I want fuel consumption to be A. But that's actually one of the worst things you can do because it's also relative. Any winter tire drastically lowers the efficiency of your car and increases your fuel consumption, but it's not like it's going through the roof and your car will have bananas and no range left, whether you drive a gasoline powered car or an electric car. But if you look only at this A label and you think that's the most important, you'll get yourself tires if you're going to the snow that are probably really good for dry or for wet surfaces, but then the moment you encounter a little bit of snow and ice, it will significantly underperform this tire, and it can be even dangerous. So don't stare at this fuel consumption, but rather think like, okay, in which climate do I live? Where am I going with this car? Will there be a lot of snow? Will there be a lot of ice, a lot of rain? Will it be primarily dry? Will the roads be rough? Those are the things you need to look at. And don't worry so much about the fuel consumption, because that's just relative and it doesn't really matter too much. Safety first. Sehr schön. Yeah, and reason number five, it's actually a summary of all the other points. The scope is way too limited. Like I said, it doesn't look at your specific car, the weight, the vehicle, your driving style. And it doesn't look at your local climate also. So in my opinion, these EU tire labels here, they're nice, but they belong in the trash. Now let me tell you what you should really do. The first source I would look for the best tire reviews would be your local roadside support agency. We have ANWB here in the Netherlands, you have ADAC in Deutschland. And they have these annual tests and they compare different tire sizes and different types of cars. Family, sedan, compact, mini, SUV. And those are really good tests. And there you can get the closest match for your type of car. And they spend a lot of time and effort and money in these tests. So look at those. The second thing I would do is go to tire reviews. And they look at all these factors that are important and they score them individually. I'll put a link in the description. And the third thing I would do is to just Google your car with or without the tire size and then read in online fora like Reddit, for example, what people recommend. What you can do, for example, is say Tesla Model 3 Performance and then the type of tires you're considering for your car. So for example, Goodyear, Michelin Alpine 5, Vredestein Windtrack Pro, and then Google these queries and then you'll find all sorts of reviews from people who've actually been driving these tires for your specific car. And then you get really the best information. You can even write them often in these fora to exchange thoughts. And that's how you make a really well-educated decision compared together with these tested. So yeah, and those were my tips how you can find the right tires for your car. Have you already thrown the EU tire label in the trash, or are you still using it? Let me know what are your favorite winter tires and hope to see you again in my future videos. Auf Wiedersehen.